ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. My dear devotees, we shall start with the chanting. Let us chant together. I will not be repeating. So please all of you join. Arjuna uvacha jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayashi keshava व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्. श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन सांख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनां न कर्मणामनारम्भात् नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च सन्न्यसनादेव सिद्धिं समधिगच्छति न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि जातु तिष्ठत्य कर्मकृत कार्यते ह्यवशः कर्म सर्वप्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य यास्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते. यस्त्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्य लभतेऽर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते. नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वं येषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक् देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यत इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविता तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यो यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापा ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात् अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम् तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम् एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति ह्यः अघायुरिन्द्रिया रामो मोघं पार्थ स जीवति यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो नाकृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रितः नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो नाकृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कच्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः तस्य कृतेन अर्थ न एव. That is, for him there is no need for action at all. For whom, in the last shloka he has mentioned, one who has realized the God. A man who has the God realization, or who has understood that I am the Atman, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not any of these sense organs, but I am Supreme Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. He realizes that I am Brahman. For him, there is no need for any work at all. Naiva tasya kritena arthaha. But there is no profit or there is no any result for a person who has attained the God realization. Nakriteneha kasyana, na akritena. If a man of such a qualification, that is, one who has realized God, na akritena, that is, by non-performance of any action or any work, na arthaha, there is no effect on him also. That means, if he likes, he can do the work. If he does not like, he need not do any action at all. Who? One who has realized the God. We never come in that category at all because we are all still bound. We are still in bondage. So it is not applicable to us, but to a person of God realization. That is, one who has, by spiritual practice or by any one of the yogas, either Karma Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, or Raja Yoga, or Jnana Yoga, by any one of the yogas, he is performing that yoga, he has attained self-realization. He has understood that he is not this body at all, and he has no work to perform, because usually we all work. Why do we work? Because we are in bondage. That man is free. He is not bound at all. So by nakritena, by not performance of that work, na arthaha, there is no effect. Even if he performs work, in ordinary cases what happens, whenever we do an action, whenever we perform a work, the result will come. The result, good or good, bad or bad. If it is a good action, we will be getting the good result. If we are doing a bad action, we will be getting sin. So the bad result will be there. But in his case, first of all, he does not do any bad action at all. His mind will not instigate him, or his mind will not permit him to do any bad action. He realizes, so whatever he does, first of all, he need not do. But sometimes he does. Why does he do? That is in order to loka sangraha, earlier he said. That is for the good of the society, for the good of the others. They perform, say for example, Krishna. Lord Krishna has nothing to attain in this world, because he himself is a God, he has come in the human form. So there is nothing for him to do sadhana, and he has to attain anything. But he continues to work. He goes on working in whole his life. That is, as we said early in the next chapter, it will come. The Lord Krishna will say, Paripranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. That is, to do good to the good people. Sadhunam, sadhu means good people. Paritranaya, to protect them. Sadhunam, vinashaya dushkritam. To destroy the people, the evil-minded people. To destroy them, Sambhavami Yuge, every age I take birth. And now he has taken birth as Lord Krishna. Now he has to destroy the Kauravas because they were all in the evil path. And they have to he also has to protect the Pandavas because they were good-natured people. And they are the sadhu now. Dushkritam vinashaya means destruction of the Kauravas. And many other acts also he does. Wherever he has done, it is only to protect the good and destroy the evil-minded people. So now the realized souls also work now for the good of the world. Now in this age, Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda, and of course Sri Sharada Devi, they came. What for? By their action, by their blessing, by their showing the path, and also in a very active manner, Swami Vivekananda worked. What for? He had nothing to attain anything by that work. He went to travel all over India, met so many people, went to America, reached there, brought money, built the organization, all the things. He was, as he started a life after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away as a monk. And he died as a monk. He did not attain anything, he did not work for his own benefit. He did not make property, he did not make money, he did not do any of those things, even though he worked. That is a selfless work. That is work for work's sake. That is, the work for work's sake will bring good to the society, will do good to the people. With that attitude only, they work. So here, he is telling a realized soul may work, may not work. If he works, it is for the good of the others, not for the purification of mind. Usually work is done with an unselfish attitude. Why? An unrealized soul or a man who is in bondage, he works. He works with the attitude of doing good to the others. By that, what will happen? He may not gain anything for himself, but his mind is purified. A purified mind only can realize God. By the purification of the mind, to realize God, he is this. No, such a man, a realized soul, he does not that he have any purpose of his own, or he is not dependent on anybody. A man who has realized God and immersed in the bliss of God realization, he has no further use of work, because we all work to get joy, to get happiness. If a man of realization, he will got the highest happiness, always in the bliss. So what is he to earn by doing this work? All the work is we save money. Money for what purpose? To think that we will enjoy, we will be happy. This man is already happy. Then what is there to attain for him? And he does not depend on anybody, for he has nothing to achieve at all. So he is the most independent man. Swami Vivekananda says, he walks like a rhinoceros in a most majestic way, because he has nothing to achieve in this world. Everything has been achieved. What does Lord Krishna want to tell in this shloka? Now he says here, Lord Krishna speaking of the duty of a realized self. He says he has no duty at all to perform. A realized soul should work or not is the question. A realized soul, not necessary he should work, or if he likes, instead of keeping quiet, let me do good to the society. With that attitude, he may work also. That is to say, that a realized soul need not do any work. Why? Now, usually, who has to do the work? Who has to perform the work? A man who has to achieve something. Nobody does work. We don't work for nothing. We always expect the result that I do this much of work, I should get this much of money for my work. Nobody does, I will come morning until evening I will work and I don't want anything. Only a realized soul will say, I will work, but I don't want anything. Because all the things to be achieved is already achieved in his heart. He is a blissful man. We only do the work and achieve something also for what? Thinking that it will bring happiness. You will have money. By money I will buy this, I will buy that and all. And what will happen by this purchasing? That will give me joy. So now this man is already having joy with him. It is just like there is a pot. A pot is filled with water. And now you bring some more water and put it to that pot. What is the use? That will flow out only. It does not require any more water. In the same way, a man who has realized God, all his wishes are fulfilled, he is always in bliss, so he need not work. If at all he works, it is for the good of the others. Now, we all work with the purpose of achieving something. For a realized soul, nothing remains to be achieved. So what will prompt him to do work? Nothing will. A person has to work only until he realizes God. We all work, and that work also, two types of work are there. One is working with attachment or working with the expectation of achieving something. Another is working without any expectation of any result at all. But what will happen by that? It will purify the mind. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. So the work is done for the purification of the mind. Once the mind becomes purified, that impurity is standing in between us and the God. Now, by work, if we can purify our mind, that impurity will go away, then we will realize God. That is called as karma yoga. So, karma, there are two things. One is a karma, another is a karma yoga. Karma, we all do karma. But amongst us, there are few who do as a sadhana, karma yoga. Your karma yoga means working without attachment. That I don't let the result come, let not the result come, let it be a little result, let there be no result. I don't bother. I go on working sincerely without any expectation, and whatever has to come, it will come, let it come, or let it come, I'm not bothered about that. So with that attitude when a person works, that becomes karma yoga. That karma yoga will lead to the purification of the mind. And once the moment the mind is purified, then there will be only good thoughts and blessings for the society, and always we think good of others. That is the sign that our mind is purified. We will not hate anybody, we will not be angry with somebody or another body, and all the enemies and friends all are same to us. We always think good of the whole humanity. Let him be happy, let him be happy, let him be happy. That is possible only when I am happy. When can I be happy? When I realize God, then only I am happy. So to realize God, do the work without any attachment. So in the next shloka, Krishna tells the same thing. Tasmadasaktah katatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purusha. Very interesting shloka. Here, the secret of karma yoga Krishna is telling. What is Karma Yoga? Here he says, Tasmad Asaktam Satatam Karyam Karma Samachara. Tasmad, therefore, Asaktam, remaining unattached. Asakti, Anasakti, or Asakti. Anasakti and Asakti both are one and the same. So Asaktam, that means don't be attached. Don't, in an unattached way, Karyam Karma Samachara. Do the duty undertaken in a proper way. So all the work is worship, work as worship, doing that in that way. That is, first we should think work is worship. What I am doing, or in worship, what we do? In worship, we with all love, we try to please the God. So the same thing, do the work with the attitude of pleasing the God or serving the God. In that attitude, you do your work every day. Karyam karma samachara. That is duty. Duty undertaken in a proper way. That karya, that work we should do in a detached manner. Then always we will be happy when we work in a detached manner. Why are we happy when we work in a temple? Or when we do some service to the poor people and do some poor feeding, we do it. What do we gain by that? By poor feeding, there we will see you get joy. Why that joy came? Because there is no selfishness. There is no expectation. Not that after feeding, all will come and give you money. Do you expect? No. You will say, oh, let the poor be blessed. Let the poor be happy. And that's enough for me. With that attitude, we always work when we do the poor feeding. Or when you go to a temple and do some service in the temple. What do you expect there? Nothing. It is to please the Lord. I'm happy that the Lord is pleased by my work. With that attitude, we do it. That is what is actually Karma Yoga. The same thing we have from morning to do evening when we work. With that attitude we work. How it will benefit others. How it will benefit others. It must be our attitude. Not that, what do I get by that work? How am I going to benefit by that work? If that is there, that is only karma. If the attitude is that let others be happy, let others be benefited, then when you do the work in that manner, it is karma yoga. So any action we do, either it will be karma or it will be karma yoga. So doing like that, then what will happen? By performing karma yoga, your mind is purified. Once the mind is purified, the Lord reflects in our mind. Then we will realize the God. After God realization, it is left to you whether to work or not to work. Even if you work, no result is coming to you, but people are benefited by that. People are blessed by that. Krishna went on working. What did he gain personally? There is nothing to gain for him because he himself says, I have nothing to achieve in this three worlds. There is nothing, no thing is left to be achieved by me. But even then, I go on working. Krishna's life, if you see, he was throughout, he was an active person. You don't find him hours together sitting in a cave and meditating. He was always in a working field, active, everywhere he used to go on, work. But what did he attain? There was nothing left to attain, so what will he attain? He was already a full man. He was already completely, he has realized his own self. So there was nothing. Therefore, remaining unattached, karyam karma samachara, the duty undertaken in a proper way. That's why we say, do it in the attitude of a duty. Don't do it with the attitude of getting something. The result has to come. Swami Vivekananda says in the Karma Yoga lecture that whenever you perform a work, whether you want it or not, the result will automatically come to you. Why are you in a hurry? Why are you expecting? And if it does not come today, so you will sit and weep. Today or tomorrow it has to come. It has been credited in your account, Krishna says. Once you do a work, that work result, it is credited in your account. If I do a good work, good result is credited. Bad work if I do, bad result is credited. When we suppose, for example, you are working in an office, you are taking a bribe. Bribe at that time you may think, oh, I got it, I purchased this, I put it in all those things. But the fruit you have to bear, probably in the next life. You may be born as a lame person, or a blind person, or absolutely a beggar. Why, if you think, God has created everybody, why did He create me alone as a beggar? If you think like that, the answer is your own karma phala. Now you are enjoying in the way of suffering. Now that phala has come back to you. What you cheated somebody, what you stolen somebody else's money. At that time I would have been enjoyed, I would be thinking, oh, I got so much and all. But if it is not earned in a proper way, you have to pay for it. Pay in what way? In my next life, or sometimes in the same life. I have seen some people who have amassed wealth. When they were caught, they have been put into jail, and all money wealth has been taken away, and they lead a beggar's life. Why it happened? Because I cheated somebody. So that is called as the karma. Karma, a good karma will give you good result, bad karma will give you bad result, and your life is not limited only to this today's 100 years life, you should remember. We are going to be born again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That nobody can stop. So when I am going to be born again, what is going to come to me in the next life is what I have done in my previous life. If I led a good, decent life, a good life, then I will be born in a good family or a rich family. If I have done enough cheating for the other people and I am the cause for the suffering humanity, then I will also have to suffer in the next life. That nobody can stop that. That even the Lord will not put his hand. Suppose in this life I have become very sick and I pray to God, oh God, you save me, save me. Why the God doesn't save you immediately? That is because you have to, what bad karma you have done, you have to suffer for that. You will have to suffer. And if you believe in God and pray, then suffering will become less, or God will give you the mind to bear that suffering. Strength He will give. That but suffering you have to suffer only, that nobody can stop. Similarly, you have done a lot of good acts. Now in the coming life, you will be born in a good family, you will be thinking of God always, you will be contented, you will be happy, people will respect you. All those things are happening in front of our eyes, but we do not understand that it is all due to the effect of our old karmas. Good, good, bad, bad. So suppose, for example, if I put a tamarind seed, and a tamarind tree will grow. And if I expect this sweet fruit should come from the tree, it can never come. Only tamarind fruit can come. Similarly, a good seed is put, good fruit will come. Good, bad, the different seed is sown, then the different tree will come, different fruits will come. So also our lives. This life is actually meant for our future life. What we are doing now, we are suffering or enjoying because of our past life. In the same way, we will suffer or enjoy in our future life. Suppose, for example, if you say, I don't want either good or bad, very good. then do work for the sake of others. That will help you to purify your mind and you will realize God. Then afterwards you have no birth at all. If you take a birth only, suffering, happiness and all those things will come. If I have done enough, I am doing only good things and I am always thinking of the Lord. If that idea comes, then our life will be a beautiful life only. That's why he says, asaktaha acharan karma. By performing duty without attachment, purushaha param apnoti. The man will attain param. Param means supreme. Supreme means God. He will have God realization if he works in a detached manner. Man attains param, the highest. What is the highest? That is God realization. So here Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna how to perform action to make it karma yoga. Arjuna is going to perform karma. That action, how can it be made karma yoga? That is the path for the realization. He says there are two things, that is karma and karma yoga. Whatever work we are doing, it is of two types. One is the karma yoga or another is the karma yoga. Same action. With attachment, if you work, then it is karma. Attachment to what? Attachment to the fruits of action. I do a small work, but I will be expecting a huge return. How is it possible? So, that fruits of action, if I am expecting, then that is expectation of the result. We are all sadhakas. That is, we have not yet realized God. That is very clear. We are all on this earth, we are born. God has given us an opportunity either to become worse or to become good. If you want to become worse, then you do whatever you want with attachment to the work, expectation of the result, getting the result good or bad and all those things. But if you want desires of liberation through work, that is, we want to practice karma yoga. That should be in our mind. Let me work. Let me work with the attitude of attaining liberation. If that attitude is there, then it becomes karma yoga. In that case, in the case of Arjuna, now he wants to give up war and go to forest. That's how the Gita has started. He wanted to give up the war and run away to the forest and meditate there and follow the path of meditation. But is he fit? Now suppose, for example, if we think, now what is this work and all those things? Let me renounce everything and go and sit and meditate. You try, one day you try, you'll understand. Because how unfit you are for meditation. Mind will be always thinking of this world alone. Why? Because mind is not yet purified. And the purification can be done by constantly working in an unselfish manner. Lord Krishna knows that Arjuna is not fit for that path as he is full of desires in his mind. You just see the life of Arjuna. Now Arjuna wanted to run away to the giving up the battle and to the forest. Many put the question, you are doing a right thing, instead of killing so many people, let me go away to the forest and sit and meditate. Why Krishna did not allow him? If he has allowed, probably there would not have been a war at all, or whatever it may be. If he has allowed, what Arjuna would have done? He would have gone to the forest, sit there for meditation, and what will be his condition of his mind? His mind will be constantly thinking what happened in the war. Without me, Pandavas are they put into trouble, and with the Pandavas have been killed, or Pandavas killed the Kauravas. All these thoughts only will be there in his mind from morning to evening. He went there to forget this war, to forget this world and meditate. But for what for meditation? Meditation is to realize God. But could he have done it? No. Why do you say how he could not have done it? Now, You just see his life. Let us analyze his own Arjuna's life. Compared to that, we have to compare our own lives with Arjuna. Arjuna had a big problem, we have a small problem. That is the only difference. Now Arjuna, if you look at the Arjuna, now he performed earlier. He had a lot of tapasya. When he was in forest, he went and meditated on Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appeared in front of him because with a single-minded devotion, he meditated on Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, as soon as he appeared, he wanted to give boon. He asked him, what boon you want? Arjuna did not tell, oh Lord, I don't want anything. I want you and you alone. I want to realize you and remain always in tapasya. Did he say like that? No. What did he ask? Oh Lord, give me Pashupatastra. Why? Because in future I will have to fight with the Kauravas. I will have to kill them all. For that I know the weapons and very powerful weapon. So give me Pashupatastra, he gave. Lord Shiva also laughed and he gave him Pashupatastra. He has come to this battleground equipped with that. So Arjuna had no mind of God realization, even though when he came face to face with God. Now, in front of Lord Shiva himself is standing, even at that time, because his mind was not completely purified, he had full of desires, and he asked only for this one. And also, all right, when he now the desire has come for God realization. Krishna did not allow him. He made him fight the war. War is over. They won. They got the kingdom. Now, any day, did Arjuna think, I don't want all these things. Let me calmly sit and meditate and realize God. Was God realization in his mind? He wanted to enjoy that kingdom. If you see the life of Arjuna, afterwards also he became a king, he ruled and he enjoyed and he died. That shows Arjuna's mind was not purified completely. When the purification of the mind is not there, what will remain? Desire will remain in his mind. Because of the so many desires, he went on ruling the kingdom and he forgot all about the realization of God. So this is a atura sannyasa, they call it as. That is, suddenly when there is a failure in life, at that time we also think when there is so much of difficulty, then we think, all right, let me become a sannyasi. Let me not bother about these things. But that is not a real sannyas. There you will not be able to remain a sannyasi for long. After some time, you will feel like, no, let me work, let me get back, let me marry, let me have children. So because purification of the mind is not there. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story. There was a man, a married man with children and all those things. He had no job. He went on searching for job. He did not get. Then he became disgusted. He came and told his wife and children, now I am renouncing this world. There is no use in this world. Let me go to Kashi. Let me go to Kashi and there pray in front of Lord Shiva and become liberated. And let me realize Lord Shiva. His wife and children tried to stop him in many ways, but he did not care. He went. He ran away from the house, went to the Kashi. Kashi, he was roaming here, there, and all that. Is it possible to sit and meditate with such a mind? And after a few days, he wrote a letter to his wife. You see, after coming to Kashi and roaming here and there and all, at last I have got a job, a good job. Now I'm earning. I have also rented a house. You immediately come with your children and all. And that was the Atura Sannyasa. Ramakrishna calls it. A sudden, spurious sannyas. It will not last. It will not last long. Unless and otherwise you have got the great desire for God realization and renounce, then only you will be. Then also immediately after renouncing and becoming a sannyasi, you will not realize God. Then that's why Swami Vivekananda said, you do karma yoga. You are a sannyasi, no doubt, but you are not a perfect sannyasi. You are not a realized sannyasi. For God realization, you have to go on working. Now, that is what Swami Raghaveshanandaji said. One Swami was a very, very short tempered. Suddenly he will become angry. And he used to scold the devotees at all. One day one devotee came and complained to Swami Raghaveshanandaji. Maharaj, you should send away that Swami. Raghaveshanandaji asked quite calmly, why my son, what happened? No, you see, he scolded me like this. Then Raghaveshanandaji said, all right. I will apologize on his behalf. Please do forgive. Don't keep it in mind. And then one more thing he said, my dear brother, you remember, we have all come to this organization and to realize God. Till we realize God, we are all imperfect souls. We are not a perfect God realized persons. We are struggling. We are struggling. Swamiji has given us karma yoga. We are practicing on the path. Lot of difficulties, lot of failures may be there, but we are on the right path. Till then, till we realize God, all these human weaknesses of anger, this one, etc., will be there. You will have to kindly forgive us. So this is the thing. We are karma yogis, but not karma siddhas. Not that we have realized it. We are on the path of realization. So we are struggling. We are struggling. So one day or other, by the grace of the God, we will realize God, then we become perfect. So this karma yoga is the path. Here Krishna is telling what is the secret of this karma yoga. He is telling in this shloka, we should remember this. Asattaha karyam karma. Kuru. That is the work with a detachment. Anasakti yoga, another word is called. That means karma yoga is called anasakti yoga. That means don't have any desire in your mind for the fruits of the work which you are doing. That is called as anasakti. Do it, it will come. Let it come slowly, let it one day, after 10 days or 30 days, let it come. But don't bother about that. You go on performing the work. Mentally, always remembering, I am doing this work for the God realization. I am doing this work for the God's sake. So, every day when you do the work whole day, in the evening, night, sit in front of the Lord, pray for a few minutes, telling Krishna Arpanamastu. Let all the fruits of my action, let it go to the Lord Krishna. I am only his servant, humble servant. To please him, I have done all this work. With that attitude, if we do it, then it will become karma yoga. So, asattam karma, without having attachment to the duty, asatto hi acharan karma. Here Krishna is giving us the secret of how to make karma a karma yoga. He says if you work with the anasakti, then that will be the karma yoga. So this is the secret. That is, I will go on doing work with the attitude of pleasing the God. If my Lord is pleased by work, that's enough. Afterwards, the result will come or not, I don't care. Because all I want is mental happiness. By doing this, I will be getting mental happiness. I am happy over that. Go on doing like this, one day or other, when our minds become completely purified, then we will realize God. So this is the secret of work. You remember, anasakti is the secret of doing work or making it karma yoga. Now, we should stop with this. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.